Everyone, happy Thursday. I'm going to start in a few seconds here. And it looks like we have everybody with us. So, my name is Allison. I'm the content editor at PaperStreet. My main responsibility is organizing and editing content for clients to get ready to add to their content management system. And I also run the PaperStreet blog and all of our social media sites. So in the last few weeks, we've had a lot of clients asking us about their videos, whether they should add them to the site, how they should add them to the site, what's the best way to do it. It just seems like a lot of work, it's expensive. So I'm hoping to answer some of those questions and debunk some of those myths. I don't think creating videos for your website is quite that scary, so that's my goal. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is the goal for the webinar. In the next 15 minutes or so, I hope to explain to you some best practices, give you a big list of topics and some places to start. We'll go over the technical aspects of YouTube, actually uploading the video to your site and then getting that code that you can use to put it wherever you'd like. That comes both in the form of a link and the embed code. And then a step-by-step guide to get you started. It's more of the getting everybody on board and what the first step has to be for implementing some sort of agenda for getting videos to your site. Okay, so why is this important? YouTube attracts more than 1 billion visitors every month. So this morning I did a quick Wikipedia search, and the United States has about 316 million people, according to Wikipedia. So the fact that YouTube has 1 billion viewers a month, that's a lot of people. It's an audience that you just can't ignore. So I did some quick searches in YouTube yesterday, just typed in these fields of things that people might, they might Google in YouTube. And this is the stuff that came up here: DUI checkpoint refusal, DUI checkpoint. I got lawyer commercial when I typed in lawyer. And then again, attorney in Tampa, attorney in Roseville, attorney in Tampa, Florida. And so these are the kinds of search terms that you could be taking advantage of in YouTube. It just shows you that the search is there, the audience is there, people are looking for these things. This is the automatic search, so you can see that just by me typing in ATTO, this is what pops up. And Rockland is actually a city in California. In Roseville, there's actually 3 of them: California, Michigan, and Minnesota. And then when you click on these, if I go down and click attorney in Roseville, that's what pops up. I get a commercial advertisement for an attorney in Michigan. So, by uploading your videos here, I know sometimes it seems like a moot point. Well, who's really going to watch my lawyer commercial or my lawyer video or my DUI question and answer? But the fact that these are popping up in the automated search, proves that wrong, that it is something that people are searching for. So this is my best practices list. I think the most important thing you want to do is establish a rhythm in your posting. We recommend posting once a month, but if you're just starting out, it doesn't have to be quite that frequent. But I would set a plan and then stick with it. In establishing the rhythm, the search engines, Google will come back to your site after a certain amount of time, and you want to have the fresh content there for them to index. We recommend YouTube at PaperStreet. It has more credibility, more page views. It's been around for longer, but there are other alternatives. Vimeo is a really big one, and they do the same features that YouTube does. So you should use whatever you're comfortable with, but just know that YouTube has a much bigger audience. Vimeo, let me go back to the statistic, they had 135 million viewers in 2013. So it's significantly less than YouTube, but they do the same thing. So if your goal is just to get them on your site, it'll be absolutely fine to use Vimeo. Short and sweet. Your videos, they should definitely be under 5 minutes, but sometimes all you need is 60 seconds, and that's totally fine. In fact, in one of the next slides, I have a big list of topic ideas, and one of them actually is a 10-second shout-out. So they don't need to be long by any means. Optimize. You're going to want to make sure that you optimize the title and the video description for your targeted keywords. So whether you have a campaign going or not, you're going to want to put your city and then what you are. So it's either, Tampa lawyer, Tampa attorney, Tampa law firm. You can add in there the practice area, Tampa personal injury, Tampa DUI lawyer. You'll want to use those both in the title and the description, and it just helps people search for, it makes the search a little more accurate. Add relevant tags and categories. They'll help people find your video. It gives YouTube a way to categorize your video, so that's important. If you're using YouTube, you have the option to connect the account with Google+, so that whenever you add a video to your YouTube and it's done uploading, it actually automatically posts to your Google+ account. And that's really helpful because it kind of skips us, it leaves one less thing for you to do if it's already automatically uploading. So that's something we would encourage you to do. Branding, you want to make sure that you have the ability to change the artwork on your YouTube account. You can create a custom URL. You can link back to your website and other social media pages, and you can also change the artwork and the photos. So you want to make sure that you do all that to match the description of your other social media sites and your site. So all of that branding should be consistent across every platform you have going on the web. All of that should be the same. It should be the same type of photo, should be the same name, a similar description, and each one should link to the other one. So YouTube's no exception to that. And then directing traffic. On your home page of your site, you have, most websites have the little buttons, the Facebook button, the Twitter button, Google+. And if you have an active YouTube or Vimeo account, you'll want to make sure you have that button as well. That way you're cross-directing the traffic. Okay, so the mega topic list idea. I think these are all great ideas, and there's still so many more. But I want to talk briefly about the ones in yellow. These are the ones that we've seen people have some success with recently. And okay, so did a local story make national news? Share your opinion on it. So recently there was a plane that was diverted, actually. It was going from Fort Lauderdale to New York. And a woman on the plane who was local to us in Fort Lauderdale, she was a Boca Raton woman, she got kicked off the plane because she caused a scene when the person in front of her reclined his chair. And so actually the next day, the story broke and it went national because it's kind of goofy and funny. And of course, a Boca person would be making a big scene and making someone emergency land the plane. And so the next day I was actually with a colleague and we were doing a presentation, and they were like, we're thinking about doing a video on, about this. Like, is there a legal claim there? What are the laws for that? How do they determine when to stop the plane? And I mean, it was a genius idea. And because it's a local story that made national news, it's very possible that your video is going to get into some of those page views, those national Google searches. So, I mean, it's very valuable. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. Answering questions directly from clients. I love this idea because it helps you in two manners. It's going to help your social media, but it's also going to give you something to make a video about. So I would recommend choosing whatever social media platform that is the most popular for you. So for Paper Street, it's our Twitter. We get the most engagement on our Twitter account. So on Twitter, I would send out a tweet that said, what do you want to ask a Paper Streeter? You have any web development questions, any SEO questions, content, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe I get 2 or 3 replies back, or maybe I only get 1. That's fine. Then I plop someone down in a chair, I record their video, I say, I basically ask them the question and let them give me a candid answer. So the bonus with this is when you create the video, now you've uploaded it to YouTube, so you have everything you need. When you share it on your social media platforms, you can then go back and tag the same person who asked the question. So it's creating 2 engagements. One, they commented on your first original post. You got to post a video out of it, and then you got to post it back on the Twitter again and tag the person in it. So it's really beneficial from pretty much every internet marketing standpoint, that strategy. Recap any event with a slideshow of photos. So I know videos are a lot more, they're a lot more intense. People aren't as excited to be recorded as they are maybe as willing as they would be maybe to let you take a photo of them. So there's a lot of websites out there, third-party apps, that allow you to take a string of photographs and basically put them to music, and you can, it's like a slideshow. And so it uploads like a video, so it's something you would still add to YouTube. I did a quick search this morning, turning photos into videos, and I popped up, I got 3 different third-party apps Animato, Picovico, and Stoopflix. All where you can just upload your photos. You choose the track that you want, the music that you want to run, if you want any music, and then it spits you out an MP3 file. So it's something that you, or an MP4 file. So it's something that you could then upload, and then you have the video. So if your office is kind of like, you know, I don't really want you to record me, is that really necessary? You know, take out your iPhone, take a few photos. If you have, I would say, at least 10 of them, you could be able to string them together in, you know, a 30-second clip. Tape office involvement in charity events, conferences, speaking engagements. So I'm assuming your law firm does things outside of the office. You know, maybe you do presentations in other offices, or you do something as a group. Maybe you have a weekly or monthly event, or you guys all dress up for Halloween, or every year you run in the, I don't know, the breast cancer race. You know, whatever it is, it's stuff like that has a place on your website. It doesn't all have to be topical. It doesn't all have to be legal related. I think there's a big benefit to showing that, you know, yes, you're lawyers, but you're also people too, and that this is what your office does, you know, when you're not in the office. So this is what your office does, you know, extracurricular to your regular personal injury, you know, DUI responsibilities. So just keep it in mind that it doesn't all have to be, you know, strictly legalese. So group shout out, 10 seconds. This is a great idea I had in the middle of the night a few nights ago. It actually stemmed from something that happened at Paper Street. We recently worked with a trophy company to make this silly trophy that for the team. And when we got it back, it looked really great. It looked different than what we thought, and they had done a really great job on it. So we were thinking that it would be wise to do a group shout out to the local company. So basically what this involves is maybe you get a group of, I would say probably 6 or more, and just get them all to stand in the same kind of general area. And, you know, you'll turn the video recording on, and basically the group shouts out like, thanks so much, Paper Street, or, you know, whatever it is. It could just be thank you, or you're awesome, or we love working with you, you know, anything like that. And it's goofy and it's fun and it's really easy. You know, it doesn't have to be long. And then again, this creates another opportunity for you to engage with social media. You can post it on the person's wall and you can tweet it to them. Plus, as a side note, on just a human element, you'll probably make their day. So these are just some ideas. I would love to hear if you have more or if you have some suggestions, you know, some things that have worked really well for you. I'd love to keep this list growing, so please feel free to, you know, to get in touch and share your ideas. So how do I make my videos? You have 3 options. You can go with the professionals, you can go with assumed to be professional, or you could do something in-house. I think all 3 are really valid options, and I've seen all 3 done very successfully. You know, the professional, hiring a local videographer is going to be the most expensive option, but it's also going to be the easiest. You know, they're going to tell you exactly what to do, and you're just going to have to show up and, you know, look nice and do your spiel, and that's pretty much it. So it's low maintenance. It's going to be a little more expensive. Soon to be professional, it's going to be less expensive, and it's a little more work because you have to find someone, but I really think the quality of the product is going to be just as good, if not better, than the professional. I actually am working with a student at the local college newspaper here, a videographer, and she's actually going to record my wedding. And she was so excited to get the extra gig and to get the extra work, and she's so passionate about it. So I've only had good experiences working with you know, local students, whether you go through the newspaper or even maybe you have someone who's just, you know, budding into the industry. It's a really good alternative if you don't want to drop a bunch of money for a professional videographer. And then in-house, you know, you can get your own tripod you can get it at Walmart, Target, you know, Best Buy, and you guys can do it just with your regular iPhone. I mean, you don't need any sort of fancy equipment to record a video. You know, use the tripod, grab a friend, and you guys can stage an in-house video session. You can do something outside, something in the office. It's not beyond your capabilities. But that is more work because you actually are going to have to, you know, upload the data from the phone to a video program and then convert it, which it sounds scarier than it is, I promise. If you ever get there, I'd be more than happy to walk you through how to fully convert that to something that YouTube will accept. So strategies to try. This first one is our favorite, is to schedule your shoot in one day. Bring in a bunch of different clothes that you can switch out. So for ladies, bring in a few different color blouses or a few different jackets, and guys, bring in a few shirts, a few different ties. Switch them out. You don't want to do everything in the same shirt. It's going to be obvious then when you're posting that it was all done at once. And then you can record evergreen topics, which are topics that don't go out of style. So they were things that would not be current. And you can do everything in one day. You can do everything really in a half day. And you can schedule it out maybe with multiple people in the firm and just knock it all out in one session. Another suggestion is to create a video host list. If you think that your audience would be more apt to listen to your comment on current events, obviously that's something you can't plan for. So we've seen some success with a host list. So let's say you create a list of 5 attorneys, and this is the order that they're going to be in. So the next time a recent event happens and someone thinks it's a good idea to put a video up online, whoever's next on deck, whoever comes next up on the list, it's their turn. And that kind of distributes the, it helps vary your audience. Obviously, it's different people each time, which is nice. And that way the main responsibility isn't always on one person. And then designate a person who is active at the firm to record in-house activities. I know at Paper Street we have a few people who always have a camera in their hand. Maybe that's just because we're creative people and that tends to be their forte. But if you have someone in the office who just can't seem to put their cell phone down, tell them just to send you those random photos, to send you those random bits of video clips, and you can store them and turn them into videos when you have time. So uploading to YouTube. This is YouTube makes it is very user friendly, and they make it pretty easy to to get your videos online. So, but basically, I will walk you through this. Sorry, I see that I added this fancy effect here, and it kind of cut off what I was trying to show you. But this is the main YouTube account, so you'll want to log in first, which you do here. Your name and your password, and then this is the screen you see, and then you just click upload. So after you click upload, you get this fancy box, and you just drop your files in there. You can either select, you can hit select here, and the box will pop up, and you can choose wherever it is that the file lives, or you can just like drag and drop them into here, and then it'll automatically by itself, it starts buffering and loading, and you see this box. So it starts to upload for you by yourself. This is what it'll look like. And these are the sections that you should fill in while it's loading. A pro tip, if this is like perhaps it's the first time you're doing it, I would recommend after you write out the title and the description just to copy it into a Word doc or the notepad real quick. A few times I've had an issue where I typed out the description, made it all pretty and sounded great, and then there was an error uploading and it went away, and I had to type it all over again, and that can be very frustrating if it happens more than once. But basically here, this is the title. You'll want to add the title and the description. And keep in mind that both of those should be optimized. So you'll want to make sure you put your city and then the term attorney, lawyer, or law firm immediately after it. And then optionally, you can add in the practice area. If the topic is specific to a practice area, I would highly recommend that. So, if you're doing a video on real estate, you're a Tampa real estate lawyer, Tampa real estate attorney talks about real estate must-knows, shares 10 real estate tips, something of that nature. Same in the description, the same term, make it appear in both your title and your description. Tags down here, you have the option to generate tags, however you'd like. You can type it in and it'll automatically fill, or you can make your own unique tag. So I would recommend tagging your law firm's name and then anything that's relevant to it. So these are things like South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, lawyer, attorney, DUI, car accidents, anything like that. If you're doing something on an event, perhaps it's Mardi Gras or a local festival or a race, anything that has to do, with the video that you're uploading, add a tag. You can add as many as you'd like, so go crazy. And you'll see this box pops up 2 suggested tags. I would definitely click a few of those. So once this is done buffering, this will go all the way across here, and you'll be able to click this Publish button. And then it's time to post it to your site. So I didn't do screenshots for this because Stephanie, who is one of our web developers, she did a webinar a few months ago and went through step-by-step how to take a video once it was on YouTube and add it to either Total Control or WordPress, which is what I imagine all of you are in either one of those content management systems, I'm sure. So she goes step by step and explains how to get the code, the embed code, and add it to your Total Control site and or add it to your WordPress site. She shows you how to add it as a blog post and how to add it to the site itself. And then she also goes in depth and kind of gives some suggestions about how if you're using playlists with YouTube, you can include the playlist in the actual blog post itself. So I outlined these basic steps here, and this is pretty much how it works. But at the end, I have the link for Stephanie's blog, and you can see these are just screenshots from her video where she goes through step by step and explains it. And I really don't think I could have done it any better than her, so I'm going to let her be the expert on that particular topic. And I have the link at the end, which I'll share with everyone, and you guys can can just watch that separately to get the actual advice for that. And if you're in anything besides WordPress or Total Control, let us know, and we can set up a time to individually go over with you how to upload that video to whatever content management system you're using. So I wanted to go through some real examples of some of our clients who have really great video web practices. So this is Thorin Taxlaw. He's really great at having consistent branding. He has several sites and all of his social media, and they all look the same. And he also does a great job with keeping the videos short and sweet. So this is in one example here. Bloom Legal, he's the king of Q&A, and he is proof that you can do quick couch sessions, and then they can be very successful. All of his videos are done in-house, quickly, just in the office, and they're candid, and you can tell they're candid when he talks. It's very obvious he's not reading from a script, and it's extremely successful. So this is, kind of a casual works approach. And then Fuchs here this is a good example of a trending topic and how you can jump on the bandwagon with things that are trending on social media. Now, I'm sure that if any of you, perhaps if you have children or if you're ever on social media at all, I'm sure you heard of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I guess it was maybe a month or two now ago that this started and kind of took off, and I mean it was in the news and everything. And this is what we like to call internet marketing gold. I mean, this is a great way to get a video on your site. It's funny, it has a human element to it, it's contributing to a good cause, it's quick, it doesn't require a lot of work. Something like this, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, it's expected that someone's going to hold an iPhone and just record it. It doesn't need to be of professional quality. That's not the expectation that's set. So this is a good example of it's how you can get on board with a trending topic. We would definitely recommend this. And when, I don't know if you guys are following us on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, but we did blast out a few examples of, hey, get on the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. So we stay on top of this stuff. If something like this ever does come out again, we definitely try to make everyone aware to take advantage of it. So step by step, I'm assuming you need to get people in your office on board, whether it's permission to hire a videographer or to go buy a tripod and sit someone down for half a day and go through these things. So these would be my suggestions. A team of at least 2 people who have a similar goal in mind. You both want to get videos up on the website. Then I would set a goal for how many you want to do. Again, we do recommend 12, so you can post 1 a month. But if you're just starting out, shoot for 6. That's a great starting place. And then, so set a goal, and so you have something to work toward. If you want to get 6 on your website, then come hell or high water, at the end of the year you're going to have 6 on your website. Then create yourself an agenda. So okay, so what do you need? You need to come up with the ideas. Then you need to decide who's going to record it. You need to decide who's going to actually do the speaking in the video, who's going to be the tech person and upload it. So make one master document. Break it up into different months. Have yourself some meetings. Come up, have yourself a topic meeting. Come up with a topic. Then decide, what method you're going to use for recording it. Whether it's a professional, a soon-to-be professional, or someone in-house. And then designate a person who's going to upload it. Or, if you're going to upload it, make sure that you understand how to do it. If you have it all down on paper in a plan, you're more likely to do it. So, I mean, that would be my recommendation. And then, you're going to need to hire your expert. In this category, if you decide to do it in-house and you're not sure that you know how, Paper Street would be more than happy to set up a training session with you. My information is in the next slide. And you can get in touch and we can schedule a time to go over it in detail. It would be my pleasure. These are some additional resources. As I mentioned, we've had a lot of questions about this in the last few months. So we've really actually done our research, and I've sat down with Ashley, who runs the social media for our clients. And we've come up with some of these great resources about video marketing. All the basics of this webinar are broken up into Part 1, Part 2 blog posts on the Paper Street blog, so you can see them there. And then this webinar, videos, and your website is the information that I was referring to that Stephanie created a little over a month ago. And this is the technical aspect of uploading your blog post to the actual content management system, whether it's Total Control or WordPress. And then how to get rid of related videos when embedding from YouTube. Sometimes YouTube at the end will pop up. It'll show related videos, and it's not really great for lawyers and law firms because it often pulls up your competitors. If your title is Tampa Attorney, it's going to pull up similar titles. So if you embed that on your website, you don't want your competitor popping up there. So there's some good reads if you have the time. These are our social media accounts. We're active on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+. If you give us a shout out there or a follow, it's an instant follow back. I actually manage it myself, so I can promise that you'll be tweeted back or liked back or anything of that nature. And as I mentioned, we've started posting kind of ideas and make sure you're doing this to each of those accounts. Oh, it's really to Facebook and YouTube and Google+, or excuse me, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And if you follow them, maybe perhaps that'll help prompt an idea. And when we have these weekly meetings internally, and when we come up with great ideas, I just shout them out there. So perhaps it'll pop up in your feed, and it'll jog your memory, or maybe it'll spark an idea even for you internally, and you guys can get set. So I'm going to upload this information to our Paper Street blog, and you will be able to find it there. And that's just paperstreet.com/blog. or our main Paper Street website, and the buttons at the top upper right-hand corner. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this was a little bit helpful. My email's there. Again, I would be more than happy to go over things specifically with you if there's a question that you didn't have answered, or you're looking for more information on a particular subject. We can do the research and post a blog post that answers the questions for you. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Take care.